Okay, everybody, we are doing ankles and wrists today, which is a fabulous class because our hands and wrists hold so much tension, and so do our ankles, and that affects our hip and shoulder joints. So we're actually going to get into these hips and shoulder joints through our hands and feet today. So let's just start by laying all the way down, good, and bringing your right leg up to tail the foot. So just notice how big of a circle you can make. Breathing. Change directions and just notice how that feels. So we have a lot of tension in our ankles and feet. We have 26 bones in each foot, 24 in each hand, and they get very stuck. And it affects our knees and our hips and our backs, our shoulders, our jaw, our head. And then point and flex. Woo! Really pull those baby toes towards you. Good, and then bring that foot down. Woo! And you might even notice that foot feels maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit wider than the other one. Now let's bring the other one up to tabletop and circle it around. So warming up this area, nice big circles, breathing in. Change directions. Notice anything happening at your knee or your hip or your ankle, and then point and flex, really pulling those baby toes towards you. Good. Nice. Okay, bring that foot down to the floor. And then just while we're laying here, circle out your wrists. So you can do a nice figure 8, or you can circle them around. Just both of them, circling them together. Just noticing how they feel. Noticing any tension in the forearm. How does one side feel differently than the other? And then flex and extend your wrists. Breathing. Good, and shake it out. Okay, so we're going to start with the roller first. Now, if you have sore knees, like this is going to be intense, I'm not going to lie, then just stop, take a break, and then come back on. And everybody has different feet, so maybe it won't be as intense for you as it will be for me. But anyway. We're going to take our right shin on the roller here. Okay, so the right shin goes on the roller. And all I'm going to have you do is just roll back and forth. So I'm going to show you a couple of different ways. So you can roll a little on the left side of the bone here. We're just warming it up, bringing some energy down to the feet. You can roll right on top of the shin bone here. And then you could also shift over and roll on the outside edge of that shin bone. Okay, so you're gonna have to use a little bit of upper body strength here. So this wraps, ooh, there's a good spot right up there. This wraps around, the fascia wraps around these bones, and again affects our knees, our hips, and our ankles. Okay. So now we're going to bring that roller down onto the ankle and extend. Now, you could have this leg here. So you can bring your left leg forward, okay? Or you can keep it behind here. Whatever feels good to you. I'm going to shift this way. And you're on your ankle so that the roller is in that spot there, okay? And you're just going to roll back and forth on this ankle spot. That's it. So opening up this foot here. So you don't have to be like in an exact spot. Okay, remember, this is lots of stuff to play with here. So if you're feeling like your knee is not cooperating, you could put a pillow under the knee, or you could lift that knee up, whatever you need to do. And we're gonna lift it up in a second anyway. So we're just rolling. So roll to the outside edge of that ankle. You can do a little toggle here. See how I'm just little move. You can roll to the center. Make sure you're breathing. You can roll to the outside. Oh, and then wherever it's the most painful. So for me, it's the most painful on the lateral edge. So I'm on my right leg, and if I lean to the right, it is way more painful than if I'm in the center or over to the left. But you find where it is for you, and we're just going to melt into that area there. Okay? Oh. Now, the one thing you want to watch is that the foot behind you, so my right foot, I don't want it going in. So make sure that the toes are facing behind you, not rotating in. And you can also do little like twisting left to right. So you want to keep contact with the roller. Oh. On that foot, and just slowly with the breath shifting left and right. So we're really getting into sinking and stretching and releasing that fascia. Ah! Okay, now I want you to move back just a couple inches. So by moving back, you're going to go closer to your knee with the roller, but just a little bit. We're still working in that ankle area. Ooh. You might find your foot gets really cold. It might get tingly. That's all okay. That's all okay. Again, shift to the left, to the center, to the right, and notice where it feels the most tender, and as long as you can breathe in there, you want to breathe in there. Ooh. Good, we'll stay here for a little bit longer, and then we'll, oh, switch it over. You didn't realize how much tension was in these ankle areas here. Good, okay, now let's just sit, either on the floor or on the roller, and just, oh my gosh, take that right ankle and roll it out. Oh, you may even want to give your ankle a little bit of a massage in through here. Oh. Good, and then just flex and point each one, relax, and just feel that difference from one leg to the other. Ooh, that's a lot of work. Okay, so now let's go to the other side here. So left shin comes up onto the roller. So again, you can have your bum up high, okay, so you can roll like this. We're just trying to warm this up here. So I like it with my right leg behind me to get into my shin, to breathe. And again, explore. Go on the inside edge of that bone, on top of the shin bone, the tibia, and then over to the left side. Woo, and that's where I got some good pain going down here. So just nice movements here, bringing that blood flow down to the foot. Think of breathing into the foot. Nice. Oh yeah. Literally, you could spend half an hour just working the ankles. We're going to break it up to 15 minutes and 15 minutes. But this is going to help how you walk. Every single time you walk and your foot is out of alignment, it affects the entire body. So really addressing our feet and shins and ankles is extremely important. Okay, now we're going to put that roller. I'm going to move my right leg. I find this is more comfortable here. Okay, and I'm going to put it on the roller here. Good. So just getting in to that crease. And again, you play around with it. Is it better with your knee on the floor leaning forward? Can you sit up? Is it to the left? Is it to the right? Where do you feel that you need to just release, relax? And again, make sure those toes are pointing back, not inward, because we want to work on that alignment here. Okay, roll, find where it's the most painful and just hold there. And by pain, I mean, yes, you do want to find the pain, but you want to be able to breathe into it. So again, if this is, your knee needs a little bit of a break, you could just come up like this, still keeping contact with that foot on the roller and doing it like this, okay? So you decide how your knees feel. Good. Oh, get into that ankle. Stay in this little, we're gonna go higher in a moment. Okay, now let's go a little higher. So like 2 inches. Woo! Oh yeah, baby. Again, find where that's painful. Lean into it. Breathing. Send lots of love to your feet. Lots of love to your feet here. Really direct that breath down to the ankle here. Oh, you can even kind of rest your left butt cheek on, and you can feel that shearing, opening up that fascia. And notice, does one side feel, you know, more sore than the other, more flexible? And let's hold for 2 more deep breaths here. Nice. Oh. Okay, so let's just come up. Now, let's take our band and just lay on the floor. And if you don't have a band, don't worry about it, okay? You can do both things without the band. And just before we get the band, just notice those feet, flex and point them. Oh, good. Okay, now put the band, again, if you don't have a band, just do without, but this is going to add a little strengthening. Put the band around the ball of your foot, okay? You can keep your left leg bent or straight, your choice. And you're going to circle your right ankle. Circle it. Ooh. Breathing. Change direction, soften your knee a little bit. Good, and then point and flex. So this will help anybody who has bunions, plantar fasciitis, foot pain, knee pain, hip pain, by doing this lower ankle workout today. And we'll switch to our wrists in a minute here. Good, and then just pull that band towards you, pull those toes towards you, keep that knee slightly bent and getting a nice stretch. I was also reading that if we don't release the tension in our feet, that affects our hamstrings. So, you know, doing this may relieve some tension and pain we have in the back of the leg. Okay, let's switch legs. So put the ball of the foot in the band. Good. Bent leg or straight with the other leg is fine. And just circle out that ankle. So I don't know about you, but I've sprained my ankle a lot. I broke my foot. I have a Jones fracture. I had an operation on my ankle. Changed directions. So I've been giving, you know, a deeper dive into my feet lately because really know how important it is. Point and flex to keep the mobility here. the blood flow down to the toes. Good, and then take a nice stretch. Ooh, pushing that heel up to the ceiling. Pulling on those toes, feeling that tightness in the back of the knee maybe, the calf, right into that hamstring. Good, and release. Okay, now just sit up and sit back on the ankles here, okay? Good. So you want to make sure that there's no space in the front of this foot, right? So that everything touches. So that's showing our flexibility here. Okay, then we're going to tuck our toes under, and I know some of us need to do some toe work, so you can check out the hands and feet videos in the membership. And roll from the big toe to the baby toe. We have to make sure we keep these toes flexible, okay? So, you know, my big toe on my left foot, I gotta do some work on that because I can feel that is very painful. So again, we all have different feet. You might notice this coming into your knees or your hips. Good, and then tuck your toes back under. Oh, okay, and then, you know, you can roll back and play around here. Okay, we can keep going, but let's switch to our wrists. Woo! Okay, so wrists, we're going to do this stretch we always do here. So we're going to put the palms flat to the floor, draw the shoulder blades down, feel like you're squeezing a tennis ball underneath your armpit. Okay? Good. And really, like, look at your fingers. Are they pointing towards your knees? So this action at your wrist starts at your shoulders. So I want everybody to rotate their shoulders around. So your thumbs are on the outside, everybody. Thumbs are on the outside. Your fingertips are pointing towards your kneecaps. You're drawing your shoulder blades down on your back. You're reaching the crown of your head nice and long. And then you're pulling up to the ceiling. So pull that energy up. Now, what I want you to notice is, what does this feel like at the wrist, the forearm, the elbows, the biceps, into the back of the shoulder. So anatomically, when we stand, our palms should be pointing forward. So we're really unwinding here because most of the day we are internally rotated and our palms obviously are, you know, face down. We're switching this whole pattern here right now by stretching out the palms and externally rotating everything. Just keep holding. We're going to hold this longer than we normally do. We just really want to feel that untwisting action. Okay, now lift your palms off the floor, keeping your fingers on the floor. Ooh, and notice that stretch in your palms. Okay? Remember, as we age, we want to have nice flexible hands and feet, and this is how we do it, by continuing to do these exercises. Now put those palms back on the floor, and again, really externally rotate those arms. Can you get those fingertips? Woo! Pointing even towards each other, and externally rotate from the shoulders, so you're working those shoulder blades all the way down. A couple more here, and then rolling off. Ooh, and stretching that out. Oh, roll out those wrists. Roll out those wrists. All right. Okay. So I should have told you at the beginning, but I think I did. I don't remember. But now we want to grab our little weights. Okay. So listen, I'm going to stay on my knees, but you can stand up. You can totally stand up or sit in a chair and do this. So you want your hands 90 degrees and you want to drop the wrists up and down here. Okay? So all you're doing is not moving your elbows to your wrist. You're just dropping your fingertips. Good. Now pull the shoulder blades down and back. Palms are face up to the ceiling. Nice. So we're strengthening the wrist. So I want you to focus on, see where my finger is? Here. This is where you're pulling from, your forearm. Good. Roll that up. Especially women, we get very weak wrists. So we really want to make sure we're working this. So make sure you're not doing this. Ruth in the blue. Ruth, we're not doing this. We're doing just the wrist here. Do not move the arms, just the wrist. Good. Now you're going to flip over, and now we're going to pull up. Pull up. Oh, and pull up from this forearm, everybody. Pulling up, shoulder blades down, chin parallel to the floor, whether you're standing, sitting, or kneeling. Pull up on the baby fingers. Feel that work in the forearms here. Make sure you're not moving that lower arm though. Remember, you're not moving the arm. The elbow is staying still. Nice. Let's go. 8, 7, breathing. 6, woo! 5, 3, 2, 1. Now put your palms together, face together, and you're going to do teeny tiny movement here where it's going like this. Okay? Again, really just focus on the wrist. Do not move the arms. It's just the wrists. Good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Now we're going to lay on the roller. So lay on the roller. Lengthwise, your spine is lengthwise. Okay? And we're going to take our right wrist and we're going to lay it, like put our bum on it. So we're right on that wrist. So you can go anywhere. You can go above the wrist joint, on the wrist joint. And all we want to do here is open the legs a little bit wider, and you just want to roll a little left to right. So we're creating some space, opening that up. And then remember, you can also do your pelvic tilt. So you can hold it still, and you can use that the back of your pelvis to roll from the top edge to the bottom edge. So just play around with where you feel you need it. Breathing. And then you can even hold still. You can try wiggling your fingers. And relax. You can even, if you want to, lift a leg up. You can, put your other hand on the floor and see if that digs a little bit more in to that wrist area. Decide which leg works better for you. And let's just take 2 more deep breaths here. Think of breathing all the way down to the fingers. And then lift up. Ooh. And just take your arms up to the ceiling and roll out those wrists. Now that one we just worked should feel a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Range of motion. Your shoulder actually might even feel lower to the ground than your left arm. Good. And just come into a quick cactus here. Nice. And then let's lift up the bum and go underneath the left wrist. Okay, so I always like to start with a little rolling side to side here. Breathing in and out. Opening up that space. This is really lovely to do at the end of the day. Or, you know, some of us are getting into golfing, bicycling, gardening, right? And I mean, even without those things, our daily activities, we're always clenching the hand. And we're internally rotated. So we want to, you know, open up these areas. You can add your pelvic tilt. Rolling from the top to the bottom of the wrist. And again, you can pick up that opposite leg or the same leg, which is just going to drive even more pressure down into the hips, which will go into that wrist. So you decide what you can do. Oh. Oh, that feels good. Oh, that feels good. Remember, and you know what? You can always just do this for 5 minutes. Just get your roller. Remember, put your roller where you see it. It's a trigger to make you want to use it. Good. And take a nice massage through these hands a couple times during the day. And then lift your bum up. Oh, flex and extend your wrists. Oh, yeah. Bring your hands back down into cactus. And let's wiggle and stretch those fingers. Stretch those fingers as wide as you can. Wiggle them away from you. And then bend and straighten the wrists. And then just stay in cactus here for a moment. And just relax through the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. Nice. You can bring your legs wide for relaxation or hips, knees, toes for a little more core work. Oh, that was fun. I had fun today because, you know, I like doing these things. I think about all the things when I'm getting older, what I don't want to be stiff on me. And I know how important feet and hands are, only because I've worked with seniors for a long time, and their hands and feet tend to become a limiting factor. So really important to keep this feeling awesome. And there you go, everybody. That is your ankles and wrist for today. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.